this guy walks in with a huge Uzi with like an extendo clip and pulls it out. When I say I was terrified, I was freaking myself.
It's a world, yeah, you know you can't deny it, yeah.
Hey bays, I'm Bebé and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. I just want to say that I do not make it a habit of not telling people that I am trans when I'm dating. However, this is an instance where it did happen and I never got around to it until the last second. Now, let me tell you this story because it is crazy. Let's get to the tea. All right. So I met this guy on a dating site, and I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to call him Sam. For the rest of this video, he's going to be known as Sam. We met on a dating app, and I don't remember which one it was. It was like one of the older ones I used to use, like Scout or something. They were trying this new thing where they were starting to try live streaming. And I still to this day, I've never watched someone's full live stream. I saw this boy, but he had the most viewers and he was really cute. I maybe watched like a minute of it and then I was like, okay, I'm over it. The next morning, he hits me up and he's like, hey, thanks for viewing my stream. So I'm like, okay, cool. We start talking and he's telling me he's really interested in me. And I think at that time I had it in my bio that I was trans, but I'm not sure, I don't remember. So we're planning a date and we couldn't really figure out a time that worked for both of us or whatever. So we both were just like, we'll talk some more tomorrow or whatever, whenever. And for some reason, we both must have got busy and forgot about each other and just, we never, the energy just died out. And we never really got to business. 2 weeks later, actually, I'll go back even further. A week later, we went to this club. I was trying to go to this club for a long, long time. And everything I did, something would keep me out of that club. But I finally looked it up. I was like, it's open today. It started raining that day. It was a Wednesday. They have lady nights on Wednesday. I was like, no, I'm not. Something's keeping me out of this club. And I always see that there's like tons of cars there. So it gotta be popping. I convinced my friend to go. We went there and it was so lit. We had the time of our life. I'm not gonna mention the name of the club, but if you guys want me to, just comment and I'll leave the name in the comments if you guys really want it. So the next week we went to that club again. This time we brought all our friends because we was like, y'all gotta check out this club. It's fire, it's lit. We're there drinking, cool. We had just got in and not long after we got in, Sam walks in with some girl and one of his homeboys. Seeing him walk into a club, like doing his influencer with lights, not giving a about what people thought was so attractive to me because I love a man who knows what he wants, isn't afraid to do it and put in the work, and is just confident. And like, also he's a musician, I'm a musician, and it was just like, I'm in love with him. We never hung out before, but I was like, I'm sold, I'm in love with him. He kind of creeps past me and like nudges me and it's like, what's up or whatever, because he was there with some girl, so he tried to not make it like a big thing. At least that's what I read in my mind, but maybe I was just thinking into it because I'm crazy. And I was like, oh my god, he remembers me, like, oh, I got like really giddy or whatever. And my friends was like, who the is that? Like, who is that? Y'all, this nigga he is fine. He's like lighter than me. He had dreads and he dyed like the tips. I think they were blue when I met him. And then maybe the last time we hung out or last few times we hung out, they were red. He's fit, like abs, like all of that. I go on the rest of the night. I'm like, well, he's there with some other girl. Like, I'm not finna give him all this attention. I'm gonna ignore him the rest of the night. And we're there just being lit, whatever. At some point of the night, he ended up at the end of our table. The club started turning up. They started playing twerking music. Some of the girls started twerking. One of my best friends, Sunday, he's like, "Baby, you need to get the up and show the out. You need to show the out." And I was like, no. I got against that wall and I started twerking it down, okay? As I'm dancing, all I notice is lights, 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 lights. My friends were recording. He was recording. Then next thing you know, we're just all hanging out. We're just all hanging out, like his whole gang, my whole gang. The end of the night came, and I remember at some point he took his girl to the car, or I heard her say she was going to the car. He comes back in and grabs his other friend. He's like, "Yo, we leaving, whatever." And as he's walking out, he stops at me. He's like, "I hope you didn't think I was gonna leave here without getting your number." And I was like, oh my God. First of all, who's that girl you're with? And he was like, "Oh, that's just some girl. I smoked her out. I thought it would be fun to have her on the live stream and stuff." So basically, he kind of sold it off as a work thing. So I gave him my number. He hits me up the next morning. He's like, "Hey, what's up? What you up to?" I'm like, "What's your girl up to?" I was being real petty about it. He's like, "Yo, that's not my girl. I thought she would be more fun, but she wasn't. I'm more interested in you." Next thing you know, we're talking. So for our second meetup, we went to a party. And mind you, I have this other friend named, I'm going to call him Tim. He's bi, but he always has these lit, huge parties where there are just trade galore. So he invites me to a party, Tim. He invites me to a party, and I was going to go regardless, but I wasn't excited to go. So he invites me to a party. It turns out it's the same party. Y'all, this nigga is friends with Tim. So I'm like, okay, cool. So he's clearly an ally because Tim is bi and a little flamboyant. So all this time, there was never really a moment for me to just be like, "Hey, I'm trans." Things were just going so natural and smooth, and there was never anything that made me remember to tell him. I get to this party and there's all these fine, in my mind, straight men, and I'm like, oh my God. Actually, I ended up messing around with one of those people at that party long after, but that's another story. So we're at this party. It's cool. This other guy, the one who I ended up messing with, starts flirting with me, and I'm like, oh, he's kind of fine. He's actually finer than Sam. But eventually I snapped out of it, and I was like, no, Sam is going to be here in a few seconds. I need to cut this out. So I kind of cut that loose. Sorry, this is also, I'm reliving this, so it's all funny. Finally shows up. Everything's cool. And we also drank in Tim's hotel. I think Sam invited me back to this place. I was like, I can't. I have to drop off my friends. So it didn't work out that night. Also, in my mind, I'm like, I didn't tell you my tea. So we not doing nothing till that happens. Me and him hung out a third time, except this time it was just us two. We went to a club in Las Olas. I was dancing on him. He was getting a little handsy, but I made sure to keep his hands in the right places because I didn't need that surprise. He invited me to his place, and I agreed. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, I'm going to tell him when we get there. But right before we were leaving, he gets a call from his little brother. His little brother's like, hey, this is going on. I need you to pick me up. So that kind of ruined all of that. The fourth time, this is the fourth time, right? We've hung out, was again at one of Tim's parties. And I didn't want to go by myself because I still hadn't told him. So I tell my best friend, Said, to go with me. And I was like, I'm telling him tonight. I don't care when or how or why, but it has to happen tonight. I have to tell him tonight. When we walk into this party, there is the one who I said was the only one who's straight. He's in the shower banging out his girlfriend. And the door is wide open. Everyone's looking. laughing, recording. And that was what was going on as soon as I walked into this party. And I'm like, oh my God, he's probably expecting something to go on tonight if this is going to be the energy of the party. So this solidifies that I have to tell him tonight. There was this other guy, his girl, they went in the back room and they were getting it on. Sid ended up messing around with Tim. So I'm trying to keep my distance. Everyone's like getting it on around us. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so awkward. Me and Sam, I keep wanting to say his real name. Me and Sam started doing things. We started making out. He's grabbing my woohoos, hoo-has. So I'm like, okay, clearly this is trying to lead somewhere. So I need to like peel him off of me. So at some point I did. I kind of like peeled him off of me. I was like, look, this is not happening right now. And so he kind of backed off and he was like, okay. When he went outside to smoke, I went and found Sed, who was in bed with Tim. And I was like, we need to talk. I need to talk to you right now. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, yo, this guy is trying to me and I don't know what to do. I haven't told him yet. And he's like, girl, if I was you, I would just like let it happen. And I'm like, I was like, people literally die from this head. Do you understand that? Like, people kill people over stuff like this. So Tim finally comes back in. And this boy walks through the door with a huge Uzi with an extendo clip and pulls it out. I'm not making this up. I kid you not. He walks in with like the hugest freaking Uzi I've ever seen in my life, pulls it out of his pants and lays it on the table. I'm like, Sed, see what I'm talking about? Are you freaking kidding me? And Sed's like, girl, that's hot as... I'm like, no. Okay, it is kind of hot, but I'm terrified. At that moment, Sam calls everyone into the living room. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know who told him what, but this is the moment. I'm looking for escape routes. I'm looking for the nearest weapons. I'm looking for all of my options of what I need to do or what I can do if something goes down. I need to know where to run. I need to know what to grab. This is what's going through my head in this moment. He's like, so I just want to let y'all know that y'all are like really good friends. I love all of y'all. And I just want to have a good night. Let's take some shots. So I'm like, oh, God, thank God. So we all take shots. And I walk over to him and I start talking. I'm like, so what are you doing with that? He's like, oh, I always keep this with me. And I was like, okay. Oh, and at the end of his speech, he was like, everyone here is getting it on. He's like, hopefully I get laid, like jokingly. And everyone's just like, ha, 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 looking at me. And I'm like, at that point, I don't want to tell him. So I went to Sed. I'm like, there's absolutely no way I'm going to tell him with that gun sitting there. Sed was like, girl, just tell him. That's hot as fuck. I'm like, no, Sed, what is wrong with you? Eventually I'm like, okay, whatever Sed's has been telling me has been working all night. So I'm just gonna get it over with. Before I could say anything, Sam walks over and grabs my abs and just starts making out with me. So I'm like, okay, this is the moment. He starts pushing me over. We fall on the sofa and we're just making out. He kind of like throws covers over me and like we're making out. And I'm like, all right, this is the moment. So I was like, I can't tell him now with his tongue down my throat. So it's not going to make a difference. The only way for him to find out is to let him just see or feel for himself. And sure enough, his hand went to rubbing on things and he got a nice little hard surprise. He just looked at me and was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah. Yep, that's what's going on, hiding under the covers. I'm like, yep. He's just like, whoa. He's like, okay. He's like, give me a second to get my head right. So I'm like, I'm like, no, 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 no. Where are you going? Where are you going? What's happening? What's happening? So he gets off of me. And I'm like looking to see if he's going towards that thing. Because if he does, I'm not letting him get over there. He's not going to get over there. No, sorry, Bob. Are you going over in that direction? So he actually ends up walking out the door instead of towards the gun. Thank God. So I'm like, oh, he's going to smoke. So I'm like, does that mean that he's okay with it or what? So again, I run to Sed. I tell Sed what happened. He's like, girl, if he said no, do nothing, that means he's fine. He's like, just fucking go get under those covers and get naked. So I'm like, I already told myself, whatever whatever Sed says, I'm gonna do it. So my dumb ass went and got under the covers and got naked. When this boy came back, I was under the covers naked. He came and sat next to me. And he noticed that I had the covers kind of up to here. So he kind of got a little curious and like peeled them back. And I was fully naked. And he was like, whoa. It's like, okay. So he got under the covers with me and started making out with me. So I'm like, oh my God, this is really happening. I was like, oh my God. My neck was purple for like a week and a half. So eventually things got heated and he was trying to woohoo. Yeah, he was trying to do things. And I was like, no, not right here on the sofa in front of everyone. I'm not one of these other hoes up in this hotel, okay? I have some dignity of myself and class. We are gonna go to the bathroom. Instantly I get in there and I turn off the lights. He turns them back on. Okay? Whatever. I'm just thinking about how everyone was looking in the bathroom. I'm like, in my mind, again, I still think all of them are straight, the other guys. And I'm like, I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want people to find out. But he was clearly more comfortable than I was. So I don't know why I was freaking out. But I'm like thinking about that the whole time. We're messing around. And it gets time to, I just turn and I'm like, can you turn off the lights? Because I don't feel comfortable. So we do. And he turns off the lights. We tore up that bathroom. We woohooed on the floor. We woohooed on that sink. We woohooed in that bathtub. It was magical. It was extravagant. It was maleficent. It was good. It was good. It was amazing. We both finished and I went back out to the party and Sed ran over to me and was like, girl, I can't believe this happened. And I was like, I know, I can't believe it either. I can't believe it either. He's like, we heard y'all in there. And I was like, heard us? I was trying to be as quiet as possible. He's like, nah, we all had our ear on the door and like people were trying to peek in. I was like, I knew it. This is why I turned off the lights. That was one of the moments where he didn't know I was trans. Again, I do not make that a habit. And as you saw, that could have potentially turned into a very extremely dangerous moment. But instead, it was a really, really amazing, luckily. So what happened with him, I think we hung out one time after that. And then eventually he ended up moving to LA. He just randomly decided to move to LA. And yeah, that was the end of Sam. I was very sad, but I was like, I get it. You got your life. You're becoming a big influencer. So like, go do it. But like, we're still friends. We still talk. He came down recently and hit me up. And I hadn't seen him since he left. But even when he came down here, like our schedules didn't align. But yeah, we're still cool. I don't know. Tell me what you guys thought. Did you guys think I was wrong for waiting so long? Do you think it doesn't matter? Like, do you guys tell people? Like, I'm so curious to know. What do you guys do? How do you guys tell people? Do you tell them text? Do you call them? Do you FaceTime them? Do you tell them in person? But I hope you all enjoyed this video. That's it for this video. I totally forgot all of that happened. It was just random the other day that I remembered him, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta put this on the tube. So I hope you all enjoyed this story. If you did, thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know what you guys thought. And let me know what you guys do in situations like that. So, do you guys think I'm crazy for telling him after seeing the gun? Oh, God. All right, but that's it. So, ciao.